This question says, let's say A is equal to -1, B is 2, and C is -3. Evaluate, we're going to be finding. So when we evaluate, we find a specific value for the given expression. Evaluate 3A plus 2B minus C. Again, we're going to replace our letters with their respective values. And so remember, A is equal to -1, B is +2, and C is -3. So the solution is basically this. Now, if you have 3A, it means 3 multiplied by the value of A. So if we can put a little bracket here for our A, it's a -1, so we can do like this. Or for those persons who prefer to use a multiplication sign, you can feel free to do so. So we have 3 times the value of A plus 2 times the value of B, but we know that B is 2. So put our 2 right there in bracket, and then it says minus C. But C in this case is a -3. So I can put my C as -3 like this in bracket. Now we are going to remove the brackets basically. Now on the outside of our bracket we have a 3. We are going to apply what is called a distributive law to removing our brackets. And so it says 3 times -1 gives a value right here of -3, and then plus 2 times 2, that is 4, and then of course this is very interesting because right here, even though you do not see a number in front of this bracket, it is understood that the number 1 is right there. So even though it is not there, you can put it there. So we are basically multiplying -1 by -3. And some students will say that wherever you see 2 minus sign, for instance, so if you see minus, let's say -3, what they would normally do is to extend the line like this and connect it to the other minus sign, and then of course they draw the line down to say that's going to turn out to be something positive. So remember, the product of 2 like signs will always be positive. So we have -1 times -3 is equal to +3. So remember that even though the 1 isn't there, it is understood to be there, but it takes on the sign of a -1, of negative rather. And so in this case, we are going to be adding. Now, you can do one of 2 things here. You can add 2 numbers at a time, like I have right here, or you can group your positives and then you can put the negatives and at the second position. So if you're adding like this, by keeping your negatives, you can say -3, that is the only negative number that we have there, and then these 2 are the positive ones. So when you add 4 and 3, your answer is basically 7. And then you owe 3 and you have 7. So -3 plus 7 is the same thing as equal to +4. And this can also be demonstrated on the number line. Now, just to show you something here quickly. Now remember, when you have your number line, and let's just demonstrate, suppose these are some numbers on your number line that you have, and let's say I'm at -3 right here, and I have my -2, my -1. So as we go to the right, numbers become bigger, of course. Now if I am at 3, -3 that is, and I'm adding to -3, so this is my starting point, and I'm here and I'm adding 7, all I will do is to go to the right because I'm adding. When you add, you move to the right. So I'm at here at -3, I'm adding 7 more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I would stop right at this point. And so now that I stop here, we realize that our answer is basically 4. So if you owe 3 and you have 7 and you pay your 3 that you owe, then you would end up with a +4. So -3 plus 7 is equal to 4. This could also be seen as 7 minus or plus minus 3 like this. And 7 plus minus 3 can also be written as 7 minus 3, which is the same thing as 4. Now when you go back to this point right here where I'm putting my asterisk, you did not have to do your result that way. Now you could say that negative 3, you owe 3 and you have 3, so these could also cancel out. So let me just show you quickly. Minus 3 plus 4 plus 3. If you owe 3 and you have 3 and you pay the 3 that you owe, then that will cancel out totally and you're left with 4. So you can take it from all angles and still end up with your value being equal to 4. Now that is the solution to the first part.